Hello, welcome to Local Matters. My name is Vicki Evans. When people are in the music business, specializing in live concerts and studio recordings, most of us probably picture celebrity, maybe Hollywood, even the red carpet life. Well, Tucson's own Southwest Soul Circuit is a music production business, but its mission is to uplift, inspire, and entertain by combining music and community service, namely the Garden Youth Development Project. We're going to learn more as we welcome Southwest Soul Circuit founder Kevin Hamilton, who's also a singer, pianist, and record producer, and co-founder Tanishia Hamilton, who is also a wonderful singer. And yes, they're married, and they do make beautiful music together. I can vouch for that. And then, of course, we have a very special welcome for Richard Elías, who is Pima County Supervisor, District 5. So, Kevin, what is Southwest Soul Circuit, and how long have you been at it?
Well, Southwest Soul Circuit, as you said, is a music production business. We specialize in producing concerts, festivals, and studio recordings out of our recording studio at Garden Level Studios. We established Southwest Soul Circuit in 2006, and our mission is to uplift, inspire, and entertain our community by combining community service and music events.
What made you two decide to use that as a goal? What kind of background? You know, music business could be used for more than just profit, personal profit.
Well, I grew up in a very musically rich community in Dallas, and I saw how the arts can really help keep you out of trouble. Music saved my life. And I noticed that Tucson did not really have a strong performing arts community amongst the TUSD, amongst the community. And so I decided to kind of pour into Tucson and throughout the Southwest with good soul music.
Okay. And let's take a listen. We'd love you to take a listen to some really nice soul music. And it's the Southwest Soul Circuit. Hi, we're with Southwest Soul Circuit, and that was a great performance at the historic Fox Theater in Tucson, and it was celebrating Arizona's centennial. Nice job, everyone. Well, Richard, how did you become involved with Southwest Soul Circuit?
Well, you know, I've seen Kevin and Tanishia perform a couple times with Southwest Soul Circuit, and very impressed with them, and they've touched my heart several times. Once at a really small event at the library on Martin Luther King Day. And, you know, when you're impressed like that and when you hear people talk with passion about wanting to help youth and serve their community, that makes me pay attention, that makes me sit up, that makes me listen. And I'm very proud to even be associated with these folks and what they do.
Well, great. And, you know, let's talk about Garden Youth Development Project. Tanishia?
Garden Youth Development Project, we seek to provide quality programs for our community youth that help them develop life skills through subjects of academia through performing arts-based projects. And so we look to work with ages from 0 to 17.
Right. Can you give me an example of how that pulls together and accomplishes what you want?
You
know, youth and music and performing. How does that accomplish? You know, what the goal is? Well, you know, the intrinsic value really of performing in music.
We're actually starting them from the baby stage, 0 to 4. With a program called Jamboree Studios, and it helps with growing the motor skills and the brain activity and the hand-eye coordination, all the way up through the 17-year-olds, where we're putting them on multimedia type projects, and we're also giving them opportunities to perform, opportunities to actually showcase what it is that they are developing. And so it's a life cycle kind of approach to actually help develop and then put it into practice.
Right. Because, you know, there's been with so many cutbacks with education, as we know, over the years, not just recently. And the skills, you know, music and performing art and you know, just the arts help students do better academically.
Right.
The statistics show and the testing. Richard, how are you supporting this? Because it is a nonprofit, that's right. Garden Youth Development Project is a nonprofit.
The Garden Youth Development Project is something that I've committed to doing some fundraising for. And also, I look forward to having some of our youth and Southwest Soul Circuit perform at Celebrate Tucson, which is Tucson's birthday concert that I put together every year. So we're really looking forward to having some of our youth and Kevin and Tanishia perform for half the show.
And how old are we going to be? How old will Tucson be this year?
Well, actually, we're 238 years old.
And we don't look a day over two. 18. I was going to say 18, but
He's making it legal.
Well, that's wonderful. What a great, you know, just a great idea and a great, you know, way of incorporating, you know, music and performing and all the work that you're doing. But let's backtrack a little. Tanishia mentioned a Jamboree, the 0 to 4. Let's talk about some of the other programs, and I think we can show you a little bit from your website. So go ahead.
Well, as she mentioned, Jamboree Studios, we have a lot of fun with our kids there. They learn the ABCs, 1, 2, 3s, and learn how to socialize in a little smaller, in a studio environment. With our 5 to 10-year-olds, we have what's called open jam session. Kids come into the recording studio for 8 weeks. On Saturday, they get a chance to play around with the different instruments. After maybe the second or third week, they decide which instrument they want to play, and I'll teach them a song as a band. So that teaches them how to work as a team. It teaches them to discipline themselves to learn a new instrument. Our most exciting program is for our tweens, our 10 to 12-year-olds. We call that the launch pad, where we allow kids to answer that question. What do you want to do when you grow up? Well, we give them opportunity to learn subjects of academia and career fields through music, where kids can learn the professions of law, health and nutrition, arts and media, and there are 6 different programs that they can learn, or they can learn the basics of those 6 different career fields. And they learn the pedagogy of that through music. And then we also have, for our teenagers, 13 to 17-year-olds, we have multimedia projects where they decide whether they want to do a movie, short movie, CD, or a stage show. And we put them on that project. We manage the project, but we allow them to come up with the content and the overall production with our guidance. And last but not least, the exciting Gospel Choir of Tucson. This will be a boys' choir that teaches the traditions of gospel music for boys 8 to 14. So we have our hands full. We look forward to having a lot of fun with them.
All right. And we'd like to let you know and show you how to get in touch with Southwest Soul Circuit and, you know, and take a look at the Garden Youth Development Project website. So you will go to for Southwest Soul Circuit.
You can go to swsoulcircuit.com, or if you want to learn more about the programs, go to gardennyouth.org.
Right, and you're located at 110 South Church.
La Placita Village, southwest corner of Church and Broadway.
All right, and phone number is 520-829-1129. What has GYDP done performing-wise so far?
Well, the kids actually got their debut on my CD release concert, June 25th, 2010. They performed one of the songs off of their CD, and that was a blast. The kids joined us for that. Also, they joined us for the Centennial, and we have some clips of them performing for the Centennial, which was a lot of fun. And we jam every Saturday with Jamboree Studio. Our next session starts in May.
Great, great. And we do want you to see, it wasn't just Tanishia and Kevin performing at the Fox Theater, it was also Garden Youth Development Project. Let's take a look.
Hello? Carry me
technical difficulties, but we got most of it. Kevin, who is that? Or Tanisha, who is that talented guy?
That young man, his name is Damari Thompson, and he is a product of Garden Youth Development Project. He actually came to us in the summer of '09 as a 13-year-old, and he was an interesting character, to say the least.
And talented, it
and
turns out.
very talented. And you know, that's the thing with him. He's extremely talented. He is extremely talented, dancing, singing, acting. The youth were encouraged to write songs for their CD project. That was their project for the summer. And long story short, Damari wrote, I would say, more than what he's ever written before. His mom even mentioned that to us, and he as well, because he really got into the activity of songwriting and arranging. He did an amazing job.
Oh my gosh.
He left us for the summer, actually moved to Phoenix back in December. He came back to us, he and his mom. He said, you know,
he was
I've
here
got
to
something
perform
to
at
show
the
you.
Fox for the centennial.
Well, we heard him for the first time pick up this instrument. We didn't know that he had this guitarist in him, and also he had honed his singing as well. And you know, he was such a huge success story for the project.
Great. In fact, and we only have a little bit of time left, unfortunately. Richard and Kevin and all of you, talk about the impact that you hope to have on young people in southern Arizona. And I know, Richard, that your supervising your district, you've been able to provide some funding for the Garden Youth Development Project.
We're going to work at raising some funds together with them, in addition to giving them some money to work with those young people. But really, this is about arts at the most basic level, and working together with youth in a meaningful way to help them develop their skills, but also teach them the life skills that they need in a multicultural forum. All of that is so striking and so Tucson and so important to all of us, that these folks become stewards of creativity for our community, for our county, for our state. That cannot be minimalized in any way, shape, or form. Just very proud to be able to even understand the type of work that you all do with our young people. It's important to me.
Gosh. Yeah.
Thank you.
So we only have a minute left. When do you sleep?
What is that?
What does that mean?
I should put up. We want to show you the information. We only have a little bit of time left, so let's take a look at how you can get in touch with Southwest Soul Circuit and the Garden Youth Project. It's swsoulcircuit.com, located at 110 South Church Street, phone 520-829-1129, and then the Garden Youth Development Project, just go to gardenyouth.org. And we are out of time, and this, it always goes fast when you're having fun. Thank you all so much for what you're doing.
We appreciate
Thank you for
you having
coming.
us on.
Thank you.